Like many of you guys watching this, I've had a dream, and a dream that's so big that it feels like it's out of reach. My entire life, I've wanted to inspire people and show that it's possible to achieve the dreams and to find and truly live the life that we all want. But just being honest, I mean, it hasn't always felt like it was possible. I mean, just like a lot of you guys, when I first started my journey, I didn't know, or I didn't feel like I had anything to offer anybody. I wasn't sure if I had a story or a perspective that anybody really even cared to hear. And like many of you guys, I was afraid. I was afraid to put myself out there. I was afraid of failing in front of everybody. And fear is the number one thing that keeps every single one of us from ever realizing our dreams. You know, there again, it's that fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgments. But here's the thing, that fear is something that I realize is it's nothing more than an illusion. That fear is it's a voice in your head that only has the amount of power that you allow it to have. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. A lot of you guys that have been with me for a while, you know that I started this YouTube channel in the automotive niche. And I did that because turning wrenches and being a mechanic, that's what I knew. Turning wrenches, it's a skill that I've had my entire life. Some of my oldest memories is me out there at 5 years old, sanding down on a body panel on a car. It's what I grew up doing. And at one point in my life, I used to be an aviation structure hydraulic mechanic. Those of you in the know, it's also known as being an airframer. And I've always had a love for old Chevy and old Chevy trucks and cars and old Toyotas as well. You know, metal fabrication. It wasn't just a skill. It was a hobby, and for a really long time, it was also my passion. So with that, I figured, you know, why not use this to teach other people? And if you go look at my older videos, you'll see those videos, they're still on the channel. There's several that I did have to take down because of copyright strikes. I don't know why. I didn't have music or anything in the background, but there is quite a few that are missing. But you know, I figured, you know, why not inspire people to take on their own projects, and why not use the skills that I had or have to motivate people to work on their own cars and teach people how to do it at the same time. And at the time, it seemed like it was the only way that I could actually help anybody. I mean, really and honestly, it just felt safe. But in reality, it was just a cope. Because deep down inside, I knew that I wanted to inspire people in a much bigger way. I wanted to be able to share my story and my struggles and teach people the lessons that I've learned along the way. But that's exactly where the fear kicked in. Just like many of you guys might think to yourself, you know, who the hell am I to share my story, or why the hell would anybody want to hear my story? What if people judge me? What if people go out and what if they laugh at me? But you know, several years ago, a friend of mine, he said something to me that really hit home. And he said that another person's opinion of me is none of my business. So let me say that again. Another person's opinion of me is none of my business. If you think about that, why the hell do we let another person's thoughts or fears or opinions control our lives? We'll let another person's opinions or judgments prevent us from living the life that we want to live. We'll allow those judgments and opinions that they'll prevent us from chasing our dreams. And when my buddy Dan told me that, I couldn't help but to think that, you know what, no matter what I do, there's nothing I can do. Regardless, people are going to judge, people are going to have their opinions, and there is absolutely nothing I can do about that. So why should I even give a shit? You know, think about it. Whether you're successful or you're a failure, whether you stay quiet, whether you speak up, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be somebody that has an opinion, regardless of what you do. It doesn't matter if you're fat, they're going to tell you that you're sloppy and you lack self-control or whatever. If you're fit, they're going to tell you that you're on steroids. If you're rich, they're going to say that you're greedy. If you're poor, they're going to say that you're lazy. It doesn't matter. So I mean, think about that. And I mean, think about it deep. Like, who really gives a shit? Who really gives a shit? Because you don't have to please everybody, and in fact, it is impossible. So stop trying, because the most valuable real estate that there is in this world is the real estate that's inside of your mind. And whether you realize it or not, you are renting that real estate out for free. So stop renting it out to people who don't deserve it. Because that real estate in your mind, it is absolutely priceless. I mean, that's where your dreams live. That's where your creativity and your passion, that's where it all comes from, right? So why would you let somebody else control it? If you want to live the life of your dreams, you have to control that space. You have to be able to fill that space with positivity, determination, and action. Because here's the truth: no matter how talented you are, or no matter how incredible your vision is, there's always going to be doubters. And there's always going to be somebody in the background, regardless, that has something to say about what it is that you are doing. There's always going to be somebody that's going to say, like, you can't do something. But here's the thing, man. You have to learn how to ignore that shit. You have to decide that their opinions and their judgments, that it doesn't matter, and that you are going to chase your dreams regardless of what anybody else thinks or says. When I started this channel, I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have some amazing master plan. All I had was the decision to do it. I had to make the decision to go all in and focus on one thing and achieving a goal. I decided that I was not going to rent out that space in my mind to fear and doubt, and instead I made the decision to just go all in. But because I made that decision, you know what happened? This channel has received over 75,000 subscribers and over 3.3 million views in 4 months. I'm not saying that to flex. I'm saying that because I want you to know that anything is possible when you actually put in the effort to chase your dream and you commit to it. It doesn't matter if your dream is creating a YouTube channel or writing a book or building a business. It doesn't matter, because the process is the same, and you start by taking action. And I mean, you don't take action tomorrow. You don't take action next week or after New Year's. You take action now. And even if it is a small step, you take that step. Here's something that most people don't think about, and that's that living your dream is not as difficult as it may seem. And I say that because it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. Because when you decide that you are going to show up every single day and you take those small steps towards whatever it is that you want to achieve, you're going to build momentum. But there is a catch to that, and that's that you have to be willing to fail as well. And you also have to understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of the process. I mean, think about it. You can look up any successful person that you know of, any successful person that you admire, and odds are they've failed more times than they can count. But the difference between them and most ordinary people or average people is they did not let those failures stop them. And you shouldn't let it stop you either. But I want you to think about that for a minute. What is the worst thing that could happen if you chase your dreams? Are you going to fail? Probably, or at least maybe. Are people going to judge you? Yeah, I'm going to say that they are. But ultimately, who gives a shit? Who cares? I say that because judgments, they don't define you. Failure, it doesn't define you. What actually defines you is how you respond and how you show up for yourself. When I look back on my life and I look at all of the successes that I've had over the course of my life, I would say the biggest lesson that I've learned is the only person that's stopping me from living the life of my dreams is me. It's not your circumstances, it's not your race, it's not your gender, it's not your sexual preference, it's not the resources that you have access to, or if you got daddy's money. It's none of that. It's you. I mean, when you decide that it's time for you to go all in, and when you stop renting that space out in your mind to fear judgment and negativity, you will become unstoppable. So I mean, if you think about that, what is actually holding you back? So just sit there, take a minute and think about this. What is the biggest dream that you've wanted to chase? I mean, what is that one thing that you've always wanted to do, but you're constantly telling yourself that it's impossible or that you're not able to pull it off? Or maybe somebody else is telling you the same thing. For this one, I would actually suggest grabbing a pen and paper and writing it down and looking at it. Internalize it. And then after you write it down, ask yourself, am I going to let fear control me? Am I going to let fear stop me? Or am I going to take the first step? Because it doesn't matter how small that step is. What matters is that you actually take that step. Because every step is going to bring you closer to your dream, and every step is going to build confidence and belief and momentum. And before you know it, you're going to be able to look back and you're going to be able to see that living your dream, it wasn't as difficult as you thought. We get so caught up in our negative self-talk that we don't realize that the world needs our dream, that the world needs our voice, and the world needs our perspective. Don't let fear and doubt stop you from sharing it, because you are capable of far more than you realize. So stop waiting, stop overthinking, and start doing. Living your dream is easier than you think. You just have to begin. So if you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and write that word dream. Just that one word, dream. Our dreams are not impossible to achieve. Our dream life is not, it's not as difficult to realize as it may seem, or that we actually feel. Realize that most of us don't ever realize those dreams, because we've been told our entire lives, we've been beat down mentally, spiritually, and physically to believe that it's impossible to live your dream, because somebody else that wasn't willing to put in the effort to live their dream, they failed. But what they're not willing to tell you about their failure is that failure was their fault, because they were too afraid to go all in. They were too afraid of the judgments of other people. They were too afraid of failing, which isn't even a real thing. And I ask for these one-word comments because they do a couple of things. They help us reprogram our subconscious mind in a positive light. They help us see and realize and think, and it's going to help us manifest. When we see something over and over and over and over, it's going to help us realize what we are truly capable of. You know, think about all those years of being beaten down, that somebody told you you can't. And now somebody's telling you you can, and you can dream. You need to dream. Dream. You need to dream. You need to have something to look forward to. We all deserve to have something to look forward to. And we all need to chase that dream and make those dreams become a reality. But then all of those comments, they also help the algorithm see that interaction. And every time the algorithm sees an interaction, whether it's a like, a comment, or a subscribe from somebody, then the algorithm is appeased, and it wants to push it out to more people who might find value in this content as well. I want to thank you guys for those super chats. You guys are legends. You truly do blow me away every single day with that. So thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. That's all I got for today, guys. I want to thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys are showing up for yourselves, and I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.